Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream.
Choo
Oh,
choo.
my PNG tuber is not working. Cool.
Yay.
Let me go
Whoop,
into the void for a moment.
whoop. Oh,
It's okay, Sleet. I've left you in capable hands and company.
I
keep
would
me
appear
safe,
to
Nyri.
be looming again.
You,
You are looming. Look, I don't know what happened to your legs, but we didn't have legs, so I have put you behind a desk.
Thank you, thank you. That's where I tend to be anyway. So
Yeah. I think you're on the wrong side of the desk, but it covers up the lack of legs, so yeah. So welcome everyone, and welcome to the show, Dr. Nyri A. Bacalian. Nyri is a good friend of ours. She has helped out with our Queers Fight Transphobia fundraiser, and she is also a published author, several books now. She's a staff writer for Unseen Japan, the author of Grey Dawn: A Tale of Abolition and Union. She hosts the podcasts. Sorry, she hosts the podcast Friday Night History and co-hosts the podcast Clayera Conversations on Shinto. And it says here that the secret to your success is Arabic coffee. So, Nyri,
yes,
welcome.
thank you for having me. It's nice to be here again. With two of my favorite snips.
Oh,
It's nice to have you here again, as always. Oh my
my
god.
head pets. I
Head
should have added a third.
pats.
I should have added a third hand for you.
That's
well.
okay. Head pats.
Oh.
Yeah. So
So, would you like to talk a little bit about the day you've had and what's kind of resulted in you being here?
oh man, it's been an interesting time. So around the house, we've had a low gas pressure problem, which, long story short, we're going to have heating again tomorrow.
Oh,
But
jeez.
right now, the street is partially torn open because of my
Oh no.
house.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we're working on electric heat, but not gas heat. It's yeah, it's so that's part of why the day was so rough.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get an early start also because I had a great moment of vindication in the morning. This is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I guest lectured at Carnegie Mellon University,
Oh
and
my god.
I
Hello.
yeah. I just wish I could shove it in the face of all of the professors who were so rude to me when I was across the street at the University of Pittsburgh all those years
Mhm.
ago,
No
telling me that
kidding.
what I studied didn't matter and that my research interests weren't important. And
Your
like, okay,
dissertation reads too much like a novel.
my dissertation reads too much like a novel.
Jeez.
And here I am. I actually got paid to lecture at Carnegie Mellon University for a day.
I enjoyed reading your dissertation, therefore it's bad.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
entertained.
It might actually let the riffraff in. Am I right?
Yeah.
You've opened a small window
Anyway,
of joy into my soulless life. How dare you make me remember what I've forgotten?
I know, right? Meh. Okay. Cervine cytoplasm. Yes. And all I can say is, like, as bad as undergraduate professors are, professors who teach PhD students are worse, because when you get past the master's level, when you get into the PhD level stuff, like, the mask comes off and you basically see all of the ugliness of academe on full display.
Oof.
Yeah, God forbid we make. Good to see you, Vera. God forbid we make academics at all appealing to the common people. It just, yeah. So that's part of what drove me out of academia entirely, and so I became an independent author, and that's what brings me here today. In fact, I have one of the I think more constructive uses of my dissertation work is that I spun that into the backdrop, sort of the world building of this new series, whose first volume comes out on Friday, called Confluence: A Person-Shaped Story.
Oh,
Which
that's exciting.
is a little bit complicated to succinctly explain, but basically, cyborg trans lesbians in an alternate present Japan fighting a corrupt mega corporation.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
those words in that order.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
cyber.
T4T cyberpunk action.
Oh my. I'm gonna put that on the next Shadowrun source book. Like, cyberpunk is a genre that it just feels like it needs more trans folk to be writing it and to be featured in those stories, because it is fucking wild to be like, in the future we'll be able to do great transhumanist things. Wait, no, not like that. Like, there's an awful lot
Welcome,
of
Moon and Star. I have prepared a place for you.
Vixie, thank you for the 15 months. Hell yeah.
Vix, thank you.
Yeah. So, if folks want to get themselves a copy of your new book, Confluence, they can get it from the Jeff Bezos, I imagine.
Yeah, they can get it from the Jeff Bezos or the links that I put in the chat. Some friends of mine in Wichita, Kansas, run a Sapphic bookstore. You can get it from there. So that's the Sapphic Sweets and Reads. And then Balance of Seven itself is selling the ebook. I convinced them to start their own itch.io store so that they don't have to, so that people don't have to buy through the Jeff Bezos. Yeah, you can buy it through the Jeff Bezos, but you don't have to anymore.
Love wins, everyone. This bookstore loves women.
Yes. But yeah, cyberpunk as a genre also often suffers from, and also, cousin, yes, the links that I put in the chat.
Hey.
Yeah, so cyberpunk as a genre tends to also suffer from I'm blanking on the word, or Orientalism.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, there is a lot of stuff in like certainly Neuromancer that talks about, okay, we're in New Chiba, we're dealing with a lot of stuff that's clearly been imported from East Asia, and like a lot of the company names are portmanteaus of Western and East Asian companies, and just like, okay, we're going to use this, a lot of this as a backdrop, and sometimes we are going to absolutely use it for some kind of gross shit. Like, in I think every cyberpunk RPG that I can think of, which is 2, Cyberpunk 2020 or whatever they're calling the latest one, and Shadowrun, the term street samurai comes up, and that is, very obviously using that's very obviously kind of an Orientalist thing. That's borrowing those aesthetics and saying, like, yeah, this person probably carries a katana. They maybe have some weird code of honor thing going on, and just like. Anyway, you're the expert. I'll let you speak more on that.
Yes, Bushido, that supposedly ancient samurai code, which was actually written by a Japanese guy who was living in Malvern, Pennsylvania. Like I never tire of telling people this. Like, really, y'all think that Bushido is some ancient monolithic code that literally every samurai of every clan in every era was bound to respect? Bullshit.
How recent actually then is Bushido? When was this guy living in did you say Pennsylvania?
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes, Pennsylvania, in suburban Philadelphia. So this would have been late 19th, early 20th century. Yeah, he was actually a northerner. Oddly enough, he was born in Aomori Prefecture, and Actually, no, Iwate Prefecture. But in the Tohoku region. But the Edo period ended when he was like 6. So really, he's not going to be in a position to speak from experience. Like, he would have known a lot of former samurai, like his family was former samurai, but he himself was, he was not like that. He was a modern person who lived in the modern era.
Kind of writing this almost fictionalized account of how he interpreted the samurai caste?
Yeah, the
class?
ethos.
How that ethos
he was
would
trying
behave.
to he was trying to parse it. He was trying to parse it for Western audiences, and Western audiences somehow assumed that literally all Japanese warriors of all eras, from all clans and of all socioeconomic statuses, followed the same highly simplified code that's in this book.
That sounds pretty American.
Yep.
And that's really not the case. I mean, if we're gonna look at samurai as these joyless, stoic, perpetually loyal, never once treacherous paragons, that's really funny considering the great conqueror Oda Nobunaga was killed by one of his vassals. That's just a really famous case. So anyway,
looping back onto the cyberpunk point, Latex fantastic username, by the way, has a very good point that cyberpunk does kind of get really weird about the actual cyber stuff. Like in both Cyberpunk 2020 and Shadowrun, there's this mechanic around you can only jam so much cyberware into your body before your soul falls out. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially, you lose humanity the more cyberware you have in you. I think that maybe got tweaked slightly in the more recent Cyberpunk edition, Cyberpunk Red or something like that, to clarify that it's kind of the more that you turn your body into just a weapon and a machine for doing harm, that's what actually costs you your soul. Whereas if you just have a prosthetic leg, that's free essentially.
So something that I am trying to underline is cyberization as something that is empowering, something that is like that is a way of reclaiming agency. And I have these beings called dolls in this story. I use the term broadly to refer to either transhumans, like some of them are former transhumans, but transhuman beings, but also fully synthetic beings who live alongside humans that may have greater or lesser extensive cybernetic augmentation. So, I'm trying to underline that this is meant as something that is supposed to be empowering. The story opens with my protagonist named River. Unsurprisingly, this story began as me yelling into the void. So the protagonist is pretty, like, if you know me, you'll recognize some references in there. But River is her first attempt at a career in the U.S. Army ended because of catastrophic career-ending wounds. And she's recovering. She has cybernetic limbs now, and she's followed her wife to Japan right after the events of the 2011 tsunami. And so she's trying to figure out, well, what do I do with myself now? I really don't have. I don't have a. I feel like I don't have a purpose. I feel like how can I, like, I have this brokenness, both physical and unseen, that I am trying to put back together. How do I put it back together in a manner that is going to be empowering and is going to allow me to find a new thing to do with my life, a new way of being of use to my partner, being of use to my community, and doing some good for a change. So she is watching these combat dolls because Santaku, their company that is at the center of the story, um, is in the business of supplying, augmenting combat dolls. So dolls that are specialized for combat, whatever that may be. And the fact that they're able to, humans can't, but dolls can wear power armor that they can sort of interface with and have it as an extension of their body in a way that just an unaugmented human couldn't. And so she's watching these dolls in this power armor, clearing away debris, helping with recovery, and sort of leading the way. They're kind of the vanguard. And she realizes that what she's feeling is envy. So, what I want to do is, if I can find, I've got my document open here. Okay. So the setting, I'm going to read a little bit from the prologue.
Please do.
The setting is in the prologue is a high point in the city of Ishinomaki in Miyagi Prefecture called Mount Hiyori. Mount Hiyori is one of the places that has the best view of the coast. And when the real world recovery was happening after the tsunami, one of the command posts was there. So River is sitting there, and she's sort of watching as this work is going on. River contemplated the view, the distant power-armored dolls doing their work, her frustration, the ache in her back and knees, and everything, and she once again felt that growing sense of something strange. It had taken her a long time to find the word for it, but one day, at last, it dawned on her. Envy. The word was envy. Once, when she was in the army, before the battle that had injured her enough to end her career, she might have at least been one of the Americans following the power-suited dolls in the plain below, the ones sent up from Camp Zama and seconded from Camp Humphreys. Now, things were different. Her body was more fragile, and all she could do was watch and contemplate this feeling of envy. She wanted to be alongside them, clearing the broken city after what nature's fury had wrought upon her wife's hometown. She wanted to have the cybernetics to manage joints that could handle that kind of strain, interfacing that would allow for that kind of exosuit. She wanted to be a doll. Ningyo, the Japanese word for doll, was written in two characters, person and shape. River could not unmake her scars, but she could put them back together into something new. Not quite what she was before, but close enough into something person-shaped, a new whole. She wanted to have that wholeness to be of use. To serve, yes, but to have the strength to heft broken concrete and shattered rebar, to help save lives and protect them, to protect what remained, to be in that vanguard of renewal, to be whole again. She was envious, yes, and now she was going to do something about it. She pounded the last of her coffee, skipped a few pages in her sketchbook, and began to draft a message. Later, and what follows is an email. From River V. Eginyan to Isawa Kagekyo, Director, Santaku Group. 13 May 2011. Subject, Petition for Doll Conversion. Dear Director Isawa, I will not mince words today, and instead get right to the point. I write you to petition for combat doll conversion under Santaku Group auspices. I make this request freely and of my own volition, for reasons that I list below. The circumstances of my military career's end are a matter of record, as are the difficulties I've faced in acclimating to civilian life as a result. You know the details well, but to put it simply, I am, in a word, broken. While some of my injuries have healed, and transition has saved my life, in other respects, the path ahead of me remains an uphill battle. Even if I have mind and body in some measure of alignment, the world is too loud and too fast and too much for me far too often. I know I have a community to rely on here in Ishinomaki. Starting from your sister, Dr. Isawa, I have begun to build a home and a new family by choice here. I cherish it. I know I do not need to be of use, but I want to be of use, and all too often I feel like I am simply a burden. I feel too broken, too tired, too preoccupied with holding the different pieces of my life together to be of use to anyone here in Ishinomaki. I want to change this. Since the days of the Bakumatsu era nearly 160 years ago, Santaku Group has been in the business of building and caring for dolls on and off the battlefield. In learning what I have learned of Kasu's work and needs, sidebar, Kasu is River's wife, I know she travels much, is often in some measure of danger, and is in need of a personal weapon. I want to be that personal weapon and ensure my wife's safety. My brokenness needs to be rehoned, forged anew into a new wholeness. I am convinced that combat doll conversion is the answer. I know that this is not an easy process. I know that the matter does not simply end at the other side of conversion. But in talking to the dolls who work here and others throughout the prefecture, I know this is a path I must take. If I spent the rest of my days simply as a burnt-out husk of a mostly human being, I don't know that it would be an especially meaningful existence, even if it were comfortable, and even if nothing is expected of me but being myself. Director, you must understand that service is in my blood. It is my soul. Even before I picked up a weapon, it was my calling. It suffuses all of me. Service and devotion to my spouse is how I will continue to rise to that calling. I am humbled to report that after lengthy discussion, Kasu has not only given me her support and voiced her willingness to become my wielder, and I her blade, but she is also interested in a shooter-spotter type wireless interlink. I enclose her own message and modding proposal as an attachment. Ultimately, I simply wish to be of whole and of some use to the woman I love and the city that has so graciously welcomed me as one of its own. But I can only do all of this, Director, with something to hold all of my broken pieces together, inside and out. I am like a vessel broken that waits to be remade, fragments joined in gold. That gold joining, that kintsugi, is to be found in doll conversion. Finally, in discussion with Kasu, we have chosen an alphanumeric designation for me. As far as we are concerned, from this day forward, I am River Victoria M59A1. Respectfully yours. So, that is the prologue.
That was
That's
excellent.
the second half of the prologue, anyway.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Like, I'm sitting here thinking, well, I guess I'm picking up a copy of this at the weekend.
Thank you, Cora. Thank you.
So, it's something. Sorry, it's just something special as well to have you reading that. Like the author putting
Thank you.
Voice to the words on the page is just
Thank
special
you.
whenever it happens.
Thank you. It's important to like reading aloud. So one of my partners, who some of you know, she in my stream, you'll sometimes see her, Eloy Walker. She has been my introduction to reading my work aloud as an integral part of how I write and how I develop characters. So by like cultivating distinct character voices, I'm able to better sort of circle back and work that into the written prose and sort of make a more, distinct, and well-rounded characterization. But part of what I wanted to do here, because folks very, very early on in my writing this, some people heard about this and they panicked, like, well, did River get made into a doll? Like, is this like what about her agency? Like, no, she asked for this. I wanted to be abundantly clear. This didn't get forced on her. This is local trans lesbian is so gay for her wife that she becomes her personal weapon.
If I may, the Virgin Adam Jensen, I didn't ask for this, versus the Chad River, I did ask for this.
Yeah, I did ask for this. I did ask to become my wife's sword. you know, this is chosen. This is embraced willingly and enthusiastically. You know, I realize also that, you know, when I say, you know, service and wielder and use terms like that, like, you know, yes, there's a power exchange going on over there, but again, I want it to be abundantly clear. This is chosen, and you know, I actually have a thing at the very beginning. I have a warning at the very beginning. Let me read it. I have a in my long content warning.
Go for it.
This story features that the protagonist is having a power exchange dynamic, usually abbreviated in fiction as DS, that ranges far beyond the one brief bit of sexual intimacy that appears in the story, and extends into their everyday, mundane, shared life. This dynamic, in which River is the blade and Kasu is the wielder, is chosen freely, embraced gladly, and maintained through constant communication and effort by two people eager to continually earn each other's trust and who prize and respect each other's agency.
That's fucking good.
Good.
You know, like I wanted to be abundantly clear here.
Absolutely.
You know, this is chosen enthusiastically by this couple that, you know, that have been dedicated at working at their relationship for a very long time. Like, these are not people in their early 20s. You know, River is 40 and Kasu is 48.
Is there?
I'm writing middle-aged or like early middle-aged trans lesbians here. You know,
absolutely,
who have been married for a decade.
Hey, also another thing that doesn't appear often in fiction. Just real quick, Boostex the Goat, welcome. Thank you for the first time chat. It is a real big transhumanist mood, and also I guess, unless it's spoilers, does that bond of trust that this willingly given, River willingly being the blade to her wielder, does that get tested? Does that get challenged at some point? Or
yes, because what we wind up seeing is, if outside circumstances intervene and separate the two of them, can they be blade and wielder apart? You know, if outside, not like anything that any of, like, it's not that they, it's not like they themselves test their own relationship. It's outside forces intervene and physically separate them.
It's not one of those bullshit moments in a rom-com where there's a tiny misunderstanding that splits the couple up for like the last act of the film.
That's some cis nonsense.
Yeah, that is some cis nonsense. Like, no, it's you know, it's outside circumstances that physically separate them for quite a bit of the story, and so they have to figure out, you know, River has to figure out, how do I keep hope alive when it feels like I'm being worn down by monotony and confinement, and Kasu has to figure out, how do I feel like I'm still doing everything I can for my wife, but also know how to shut my mouth and let other people help me. You know, she has a very bad habit of leaping headfirst into things, and if you know, folks in the chat have, you know, some measure of familiarity with Japanese culture, there's this well-known saying that the blade that sticks out gets cut down. You know, the blade of grass that sticks out gets cut down, or the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. You know, Kasu is in a position where she is in a socioeconomic stratum that means that she hasn't had to contend with that a lot of the time. But again, outside, kind of like with my first novel, in Grey Dawn, where Chloe Stanton, you know, as someone who is a person of means who, through difficult circumstances, has to learn, shut up and let other people do the leading.
Grey Dawn, also excellent. Very, very different genre from.
Yes, very different genre. But yeah, so there's a lot of this stuff that's been very important to me that is going to be appearing in this story. There's also rather significantly, and this is going to be continuing into the sequel. One of my overriding questions in life right now is, I am Armenian by ethnicity, and how do I live that? How do I embody that? How do I embrace that when I'm in exile like 3 times over? Um, as a queer, polytheist, polyamorous um, Armenian, how do I make that empowering rather than crushing?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some beats in the story that you'll see where River asks herself that, and she contemplates it, and you know, to not to spoil too much, but she finds her answer. And if you're familiar with my work, and I know I haven't streamed in a little while, but I've had a book to finish.
Understandable.
But if you're familiar with my work and you're familiar with my channel, you've heard me say North Star Forever. River's answer for what does it mean to be to me to be queer, etc., etc., and Armenian. Um, North Star Forever is sort of one of the ways I might sum it up. You'll see what I mean in the story. Uh, but yeah, it's been a strangely compelling experience. It's like, the characters have existed since 2020, but I only started writing this in April of this year, and here we are. There's a book about to come out in 2 days. Um, and I was writing and writing and writing, and I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere. And then before I knew it, I turned around and there was like 50,000 words I'd written.
God damn.
And I was like, shit, I guess I have some things to say.
You have a lot to say, and it's always good to hear you say it.
Now, I want to also underline here that this isn't just this isn't just fiction. As with Grey Dawn, I have a works cited and a glossary, and um, unlike Grey Dawn, however, I have a historical essay because the backstory, like sort of the backdrop of this world that I've built, grew out of my PhD dissertation. Because, long story short, the guys who got to build modern Japan were the people who won the Civil War of 1868. They had this idea of throw out everything Japanese and just become Western.
Oh.
But the people in the North who I studied had a very different vision where they wanted to have a hybrid approach. They wanted to synchronous. They wanted to harmonize. They wanted to weave together the best of Japanese ways of doing things and the best of Western ways of doing things and technologies and so on. And it would have been a very different situation had that been the case. Now,
JJJ.
This isn't quite an alternate history. A little bit, it's an alternate history. The the gist of how the history that pre Civil War history factors in is, okay, if the people who had this alternate vision for Japan were defeated and like all died, a lot of them died,
right?
Right? What if a few of them hadn't? Like, what if history was basically the same, plus artificial intelligence? What if history was basically the same, except some of the people who lost didn't die and kept up with their work? And so that's the ancestors of the Isawa family, Kasu's family, that went into business and then became so phenomenally successful, building and supplying combat dolls.
That's fascinating. Yeah, I appreciate it when historical fiction has kind of a light touch, or even just a couple of little things that change at the point of divergence, and that just ripples forward to something vastly different from what we have in our modern world.
Exactly. Now, just speaking of the modern world, I want to sort of bring things sort of to a point here. Um, the terrible news that I've received today is that the state of Texas, where my press is based, is considering and is likely going to pass a law that is nominally about drag performance and criminalizing drag performance, but in actuality is written vaguely enough that it means that my press will likely not be able to uh, will not be able to do audiobooks of my work because
Yeah.
I am trans, and they will not be able to. They will not be able to publicize also like book readings or things like that.
The law, as I understand it, is written loosely enough that it's essentially, if you have a trans person anywhere involved with a show that a minor shows up for,
fire and war,
then you can be like taken to court. You can be arrested.
Yep.
That's not allowed, and that fucking sucks.
You could be playing violin in a philharmonic and you would get arrested.
Yeah.
You know?
There are people that are out for our heads, and
exactly.
we need to stop them.
And this is a problem also because Balance of Seven, one of the two owners of Balance of Seven is a trans man.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're really in trouble here. So, your support, your buying of this book isn't just like, you're buying it, isn't just that you're supporting my work, but you're also helping a trans-owned press in a hostile state that's about to get a lot more hostile.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I appreciate it, and even though they might not be able to publicly say so right now, they appreciate it.
Absolutely, yes.
Your retweets, your words, your care.
Yeah. Just real quick, Vustex the Goat, thank you so much for the follow. We really appreciate that. And Nyri, if you want to give the fine folks in chat some links to where they can order the books and
some links, yes.
Yeah.
So you can through my friends Alex and Lily, you can buy the paperback over here. I should note that unlike the press itself, Alex and Lily's bookstore does international shipping. Mm-hmm. So if you're outside the US, that will come in handy. You can also buy the ebook of Confluence here. You can also get my other novel, Grey Dawn. Grey Dawn. There. And you can follow. I'm in the middle of a social media reorganization with the collapse of the bird site.
Yeah.
As are we all.
Yeah.
So Tumblr. So I am currently on Tumblr at tumblr.com. Okay, tumblr.com/Riverside Wings. And of course, I have a Twitch channel, which I'm hopefully going to be able to get back to now.
Hopefully so. I gave a little shout out to the channel earlier. I'm just going to do that
fabulous
again real quick.
Anyway, so that's me, and that's I am also on Mastodon for those of you who are on Mastodon.
There we go. If you want to give Nyri a follow on Twitch, there is the follow link at the top of the chat window right now.
Am on Mastodon over there, and am on co-host over here.
Yeah. Absolutely recommend that anyone within the reach of our voice does check out Nyri's writings. She's an absolute delight, and
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
At the very least, give her a little follow, and if you're feeling in the need of something to read this weekend, maybe check out the her new book, Confluence.
And if
Yep.
money's tight,
And
just
as with
spread the
everything,
word.
Yes, please do, please do. And as with everything I write, like as far as fiction is concerned, I promise a happy ending. I don't do tragic endings. Like particularly like my protagonists are always trans, and I'm not in the business of writing tragic endings for trans characters. Like please breathe easy. Everybody's gonna be fine.
Yes.
Oh my fucking god! It's a cyberpunk novel with trans characters with a happy ending. Are you kidding me? Is there anything you don't do? Oh my goodness, Paula, hello, thank you for the raid, Party of 13.
Paula, hey, welcome everybody.
Excellent timing. So, we are just wrapping up here with Dr. Nyri Bacalian, who is was here to talk about her new book, Confluence, which is how would you describe it, Doctor?
T for T, cyberpunk. Well, how did I describe it earlier? Middle-aged trans lesbian cyborgs fighting mega corporations.
God, that makes me so fucking hard.
Hell yes.
Oh.
And like it's I think it's representation that is like badly needed too, because like we need to imagine new, like we need, like among our many things that we need to explore, we need to imagine, what getting older looks like. Getting older, but also like how do I burn brighter? How do I keep kicking ass? Even if I'm over 40 or over 50 or whatever. We're not all 20 something, perpetually. But anyway, yeah, T4T lesbian cyberpunk with a happy ending. And then I'm already working on the sequel. The sequel is called Path of the Straw Thief. It's named after a term in Armenian folklore. The Path of the Straw Thief is the Armenian term for the Milky Way.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
The gist of it is that the Armenian god of fire, there's a legend that the Armenian god of fire, Vahakan, humbled the king of Assyria, stole his straw, and then in his flight homeward north to the Armenian highland, straw scattered behind him in the sky, planting the stars themselves.
That's fucking dope. I love that.
Thank you. It is an important story and a cultural touchstone that will matter both in the first book and in the sequels. Cora, have I told the girls about the great Armenian geologist? I don't think I have. Girls, have you heard of the work of a particularly famous great Armenian geologist?
I don't think so.
By the name of Soil Erosion.
Jesus fucking Christ. Get out of here. Be gone.
That's a perfect note to end on.
I fucking love that. Nyri, you're always a fucking treat. Thank you so much for coming on, and
thank you so much for having me.
I really hope that this helps get the word out about your book, because holy shit, Texas, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Good old fucking Texas. Well, it's always wonderful having you, and I wish you all the luck in the world.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sleet. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. We're all gonna need it. But hey, listen, we are not going to let this be the end of the story.
Absolutely not.
We can't let the bigots have the last word. This is like this has sort of been my byline in my work for Balance of Seven. Like my byword is there's a famous story from the American Civil War of this college professor from Maine who had joined the army because he was an abolitionist, and he was in the end of the line at the Battle of Gettysburg, and the rebels were coming at him, and if he had retreated, it would have all been over. This story goes. So instead of retreat, he gave the order to his men to fix bayonets. They were like nearly out of ammunition, and they were basically done for. They literally had nothing to lose, but everything was on the line. And so in the face of incredibly long odds, he gave the order bayonet forward. So that's been my sort of byword in my recent work for Balance of Seven is like the odds are long, but if we retreat, even worse things will happen. So, bayonet forward.
Well, bayonets forward, my friend.
All right. So on that note, I will bid you good night. Have fun.
Good night, Nyri. Thank you so much.
Keep fighting.
Thanks.
Take care.
You too.
I miss her already. The Doc Feelgood, thank you so much for the follow. So, don't go away, anyone. We do still have the rest of the stream tonight. And what we are doing tonight is Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe with a little bit of a twist on it. So let's get straight into it, shall we? And
let's do it.
Once again,
girls, are we going to make a Tumblr?
We probably should. We have individual Tumblrs.
Yeah.
Maybe we just keep our individual Tumblrs and just plug Girl Stream Team on it, because I don't know.
You can do that.
I don't know if we'll
think of something.
Yeah, we'll do something. Okay, so Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Let me just get the audio going on this, because I have had it muted. And there we go. This doesn't look like Skyrim. Let me zoom the map out real quick.
Are you sure?
It's Skyrim-ish. It's Skyrim-esque. Look at it. We've brought Skyrim to Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Look, there's High Hrothgar. There's the Throat of the World, which is a hotel now, with some cool flags around it.
Some great flags.
We've got Riverwood down here. Helgen's a burnt-out husk. Here's Whiterun. Yeah, so this is a brainchild that we had. God, I feel like this came up when we were on the way to the airport.
Yeah, it super did.
Where we thought we should do Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe on stream, because we've been playing nothing but it.
Yeah, we've been addicted to it while she's been over here.
But what's our hook? What if we do Skyrim? I think that there's a map on the OpenTTD workshop for Tamriel, so maybe we can use that. Long story short, we couldn't, so we kind of rolled our own map of Skyrim using a height map. I say we, really, Sleet has been the MVP here in building up this this map of Skyrim. It's a little bit
it's not quite there.
Yeah.
A lot of the marshes near Morthal have sunk.
Yeah.
All of the rivers I had to do by hand. So those are a bit scrunkly in places, but whatever. I did what I could.
It's global warming. Global warming has come to Tamriel, and the wetlands have become the sea.
Very wetlands.
Protect your local wetlands, everyone. They're important. They're good for biodiversity. Thank you for naming Meridia's Shrine appropriately. I must have been hovering over that.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, there it is. A new hand touches the beacon. I don't know why you made it a pyrite smelter, but I appreciate it.
I don't either. So there's a couple industries here and there that I just put down to bolster our numbers, but I tried to mostly put them in reflective locations. Like mines are usually where you would find mines in game. Some stuff, there's not really a lot of pyrite smelters or chemical plants in Skyrim.
Yeah.
So I took some liberties there, but I at least put them on landmarks.
Yeah. So I guess let's get going. And Stinks, hey, it's nice to see you. We're doing great. And it's okay if you don't have much to contribute to conversation. It's fine. We're here to entertain. You're here to be in chat and talk and just have a good time. So don't worry about it.
We're here to be entertained.
Yeah, exactly. So we've set up our companies already. Mine is called Cartin Septim. and Sleets is Mike, the supplier, which I was so mad that she got that one so quick because, like, we spent, I think, hours. We spent basically most of the car journey trying to come up with good names for companies, and the best I got was Cartin Septim. So I think, to be fair, we also had Uriel Schleptim.
Yes.
Pretty good. So let's unpause this and just get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you're not familiar
I
with...
don't know if you've got a side of the map you want to sort of claim, but...
Yeah, let me take a little look. I mean, we could fucking do Imperials versus versus Nords and have one of us in Windhelm and one of us in I think Solitude.
Yeah, I like it. I'm here for it.
Is there a lusty Argonian maid business? I wish.
There should have been.
So are you taking Solitude or are you taking Windhelm?
I'll take Windhelm because I'm already zoomed in there.
Okay. I'm gonna take
pop
Solitude
my
and...
Fred quarters down.
Touches the beacon. Let's put my headquarters down here as well.
I think I started this in 1980, so we've got like a bunch of stuff, but I figured it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, for folks that aren't familiar with OpenTTD, it is a game that has been around since... well, it was originally Transport Tycoon Deluxe, which was released in, I want to say, like, 94, 95. And
I think, yeah.
So it's been around for a minute. We'll put it that way. And people really like Open Transport. People really liked Transport Tycoon Deluxe. So as it became harder and harder to run Transport Tycoon Deluxe on modern systems, which, to be fair, I don't think it ever really super did, because Chris Sawyer is a scary super genius. And an absolute beast with assembler. Folks built out something called the Transport Tycoon Deluxe patch, which was a series of small modifications for Transport Tycoon Deluxe that would make the game a little bit easier to play here and there, and just generally make it a more pleasant experience. There were a few bits of jank in the original, especially around setting up large rail networks. So one of the things in the OpenTTD patch was improvements to rail signals, so that you could more easily build larger networks without them, you know, fucking up horribly and your trains all crashing into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that eventually developed into Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, which is what we're looking at today. This is something that's been, like, worked on continuously for... I feel like it's about 15 years now, maybe longer. Probably longer.
It's got quite a bit of history to it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it is just this wonderful game that a lot of people have a lot of love for, and as a result, there is this complete remake of the game in an open source engine that replicates the original game. It is actually on Steam as well for free, so if you decide to check this out afterwards, then hey, you can do so absolutely free.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is just this object of obsession for us because it's just fun. Like it's fun to build silly little trains and transport networks that go around and deliver passengers and stuff. So what I've done while I've been talking about that was I have been building a small tram network. Not really a
trams. This game used to be so horny for public transit.
Exactly, yeah. Not necessarily a full tram network, but at least tram lines that cover the whole of Solitude here. So if I now unleash this vehicle from the depot, it's going to start going around all these stops. So that is going to start making me money. And the easiest way to start making money in this game is, well, set up some basic public transit. And usually that's like some buses or what have you. I like to use the trams because they're just fun.
Whoops.
My girlfriend just said 6 in chat. Please type 6 in Twitch chat if you agree.
No. I'm timetabling and I put it in the wrong window.
It's okay, I don't think people agree. Can you be a traveling cat caravan? God, imagine. Consider a Khajiit tailor business that uses their own shed fur as thread, since cats shed a lot. Oh my goodness.
I like that.
That's good. Right, so let's see.
There we go.
So I think the next thing that I'm probably going to do is do something about this fishing harbor here. So we are all... Hey Julie, good to see you. We are also using some mods that change up the available industries. So for instance, rather than the stock industries that you would get with OpenTTD, we have some slightly different, slightly more complex production chains. This is part of a mod called FIRS, I think, which is...
Yeah, FIRS.
Yeah, which stands for FIRS Industry Replacement Set. I fucking hate that shit.
It's so bad.
Anyone with an open source project just decides, I'm going to make my acronym recursive. Stop it. Bad developer. No biscuit.
Get the water bottle full of, or the spray bottle full of Baja Blast.
Oh, hang on, wait, let me get in on that. Skyrim looks very different from what you remembered. It's fine. It's normal.
It's pretty normal.
So I'm gonna rig up this ship. I've told it to go to Solitude's shoals, which will produce some fish, and take that to Solitude Fish Market, which will take the fish and turn it into food. It's a mysterious process.
Yes.
Power
of wizardry.
The big thing that FIRS adds is, well, besides more complex production chains, is this engineering supplies and farm supplies concept. These are items that you can deliver to your primary industries, so industries like, well, the farm industries and the mining industries. So there's somewhere around here, there's a... there we are, there's a mine. So you can see that this accepts engineering supplies. If we do supply it with engineering supplies, then it will produce more pyrite ore over the course of an in-game month, I guess? Yeah, per month.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So, ideally I would want to look at bringing up that pyrite from the mines down by Markarth to this pyrite smelter up by Dragon Bridge, or perhaps somewhere else if there's another good option going, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, there's a Markarth pyrite smelter, so maybe I'll use that. We haven't made this map available for download anywhere yet. We might if folks ask about it.
Maybe.
Like right now, it's just kind of this is a silly thing that we threw together to have a cute stream idea, and yeah. Let's see, accepts farm supplies. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is, oop, that tram's broken down. That's not good. Okay, so this port does supply farm supplies. I could boat them from this port to the other port, but that's kind of... Boats are expensive, y'all.
Boats is pricey.
Boats is pricey. Also, I really only need 80 crates of farm supplies delivered there every 3 months. So, buy horse?
Buy horse.
I mean, it's a herding co-op, so maybe they'd have horse.
They might have.
Does that
horse.
look like horse? That kind of looks
Boat,
like horse.
Boat is horse of water.
Water horse.
Uh-huh.
Was that a film about a boat?
The film Water Horse?
Yeah.
What the heck? No. Never heard of it.
I think it was about, like, Nessie or something, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Probably. I'll say
The
yes.
award-winning film Water Horse. Don't know what you're not getting.
Film Water
Neither have
Horse.
I.
Oh, okay. Well, he's up on my back about it.
Just know that it exists, okay?
Well, I didn't even know that. So, fuck.
Okay, Wambus.
How dare you? So, for me, I've got my nice little tram network set up in Windhelm. I've got 6 stations, I think, and 6 trams. And they're all timetabled, which means eventually they'll start organizing themselves so that there's always a tram at one location. And I've got a forest or a grove near Windhelm,
I'm gonna
which
come over and take a look at that real quick.
yeah, I think I'm going to take down to another one here south of Kynes Grove, and then all the way down to Shorestone Mill to get processed. This is going to be a long track, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
what
So
I got
you're
to work with.
so you're gonna link up Windhelm Heights with Pines Grove Heights and
Kynes
bring.
Grove Heights and Shorestone Mill.
Dang. Yeah, it's gonna be a long route, but worth it. I
It
think.
is. I might start from Kynes Grove Heights and until I get a little bit more money secured, because we don't want a repeat of that one map that we had.
Yeah.
Where I got a little too over eager, built this passenger line that was miles and miles long, and I ran out of money and couldn't finish it. I needed you to bail me out.
To my credit, I did.
To your credit, you did.
Yeah, the other thing about OpenTTD is that there's really nothing quite like it out there. Like, the closest thing to OpenTTD is probably OpenRCT, which is Open Roller Coaster Tycoon. And Roller Coaster Tycoon is another Chris Sawyer joint, so like...
I think
What
Chris
this-
Sawyer just kicks ass.
I think Chris Sawyer kicks ass. Like, he's a Scot as well, so like, I think he just sort.
that.
Yeah, he's Scottish. So what I've got set up here is this little truck is going to load itself up with some farm supplies, I think I'm actually going to clone it real quick as well.
My clone.
Now, neither of us will be virgins. So I've got these three all set up. They are clones of each other, so they all are carrying farm supplies. They all have shared orders because I was holding down control when I cloned them. That means if I change the orders on one of them, the orders on all of them change. So, yeah, it's neat. But yeah, there's nothing really like OpenTTD out there. There is a game that I'm quite excited about, which is Voxel Tycoon. Which... Oh, really? It took you this whole time to get to... Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Wow. It's a while, huh, bud? Anyway, Voxel Tycoon, which is a more modern look at this kind of game. It does very definitely wear its influences on its sleeve. It feels a lot like OpenTTD. I am still trying to get used to it. I don't want to say yet that I don't like it, because I think that it's just me being like, it's not OpenTTD. Part of the reason we're not playing it today, though, is because it doesn't have any online multiplayer. Which, yeah. Bit of a shame. So,
this is a weird station that I just made.
Huh?
Tell you that for free.
Let me take a look at your weird fucking station. Where's it at?
It's Kynesgrove Heights. Cosgrove Heights.
Wow. Oh, I kind of like it though. It's wild, but yeah, you've got your main line, and it's just kind of over the main line. Huh.
Yeah, main line goes tunnels under the station if it needs to bypass it. So, yeah.
I don't think I've really seen anything like that before. That's cool.
I'm a visionary.
Sure are. A lot of the appeal of OpenTTD isn't necessarily the management aspect of it, because, like, we have set up, like, some small passenger routes, and those are going to basically fund us for the early game without us having to think too hard about anything else. It helps if you kind of think of OpenTTD as a train set simulator. Like,
yeah.
You want to go play with trains, do it. Play OpenTTD. You'll have a great time. That's the Jack's guarantee. Just building a little wiggly road there real quick. I'm gonna build another truck station here, because there is a general store right next to this, which is another industry added by Furs. That accepts food. Now, because I am, at least in theory, supplying fish to that, oh dear, Solitude Shoals is building up quite a backlog of fish.
No.
Why are you going so slowly, my friend?
My friend.
My friend. I buy the slow trawler? Oh, no, I know what's wrong. Everything's in US units. That's why I'm confused.
Oh. Uh-oh. Did it enforce that because I made the map?
I guess so. That's weird.
It's pretty weird.
My money's in dollars and my my units are all in
Yeah, oh no, all the myths.
All the Memphis. All the Memphis.
The Memphis. You're muffin in Memphis.
Muffin in Memphis. Thanks that I actually have a working fish industry. I'm gonna just quickly build a dock here. And
that was pricey a little bit. Whoops. It's fun, probably.
What was I talking about? I'm pretty sure I was
Trains.
talking about something important. Trains, yeah. Yeah, if you think of it as a train set simulator, it works out pretty great because there's not a lot of challenge in making a ton of money in this game. Like, especially if you accumulate enough money to... I have put these orders in the wrong order. If you accumulate enough money to buy an airplane,
Oh god, the airplanes are so busted.
Yeah, the airplanes will make you just so much money. Like you pick...
Basically, you get paid based on the distance transported versus time, and planes are just fast and they can go in a straight line, so it's it's just ridiculously profitable.
Let's see.
Unnecessary bridges, yeah.
Food van? Carry the food van!
Oh no!
Sorry. Not that sorry. Jack's just likes to play with trains. It's true.
It's true. Trades are fun.
Look, we're a couple of trans girls. We are, I think, contractually obligated to be obsessed with trains.
Yeah, it's like a... I don't know, it's like a rite of passage. You gotta be.
Like, you either have, like, a day job working at fucking Boeing or some other big war criminal factory, or or you just really like trains. There are no other types of trans girls. This is the truth, and definitely not a joke and exaggeration. I like trains too, Paula. I think trains are neat.
Trains are so neat. If they ever did make like a, honest to God, not like a sequel to this, but like a successor, I would love if it looked like a train set. If everything looked like all tiny and plasticky, and
oh my God, yes,
little people around there with little stands, and
I have created the wrong types of station.
I have created the wrong trousers, Gromit.
Fix this up real quick. There we go. So the classic blunder I made right there was I tried to have a bus going to a freight station. Which they can't do. It's not allowed. Your buses have to go to bus stations. And sometimes I just misclick, so that's on me, I suppose.
Here we go. So I've got...
Oh god, that's a lot of food in backlog there.
Let's see, I might have to play with that station a little bit because it's kind of wet and wild. But you know what? Eat my shorts. Consume pants. How about it?
Gladly.
Gladly, she says, terrifyingly.
Look, if you tell me to do something, there's a chance I might do it. You gotta take that risk sometimes.
I guess so.
Okay. Alright, starting to make some money now. Spent a fair bit just then on getting all those food trucks, but now they are all crowding towards Solitude Transfer and very rapidly making some money back. They are taking food from the fish market, which is being produced both by the herding co-op and in admittedly fairly small amounts by the fishing harbour. Small amounts because it is taking this poor fishing trawler how long to get between there? Oh, like about 1/3 of a year to get from one end to the other.
Oh boy.
So I kind of underestimated that distance a little bit. Let's see about building some trains, though. I want to build some trains.
Do I just jump for the Turner Turbo?
Oh, which one's
It's
that?
expensive, but it's so good. It's the double-ended train, the double-ended diesel.
Yeah, the double-ended diesel is very nice.
It's like we've got the Centennial, which is almost as fast. In this game, are you just creating the transportation lines and distribution, or are you also building the cities? We can grow the cities. I think there is an option that's disabled by default to fund the establishment of new cities, but as you transport passengers and mail and deliver things like food and goods to cities, they will grow. And they can grow like crazy. They will get huge and sprawling.
Yeah. For example, Solitude here is currently growing every 12 days. You can kind of see new buildings being constructed here and here, and now over here. So it's gonna just start cropping up new stuff because we are, well, I'm delivering food into it, I'm running a passenger service in it.
There we go. I got my first rail line set up. But we're not directly guiding the building constructions. Nope. We can. There's a few things we can do with the city. We can chat with local authority, and one of the things we can do there is to fund the construction of new buildings. So we'll give them something like a 300 and some. What's this?
Those are the AI cars.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Oh, no.
we should have probably switched those off.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, we can fund construction of the cities, but they grow as they will. You can add on to their roads, and they'll kind of grow along the roads that you build for them. But
yeah,
you don't have any direct control over the buildings.
Yeah, like if I do that, these squares will fill up preferentially over other squares that don't have nearby roads, and
which can be useful because you'll see whenever Jax puts down like stations of some kind, it's got these blue tiles around. That's the station's catchment area. So if you've got like a city that you're growing, you want to put in a station, but you don't really have a good place to put it, you can plop the station down and then build roads towards it to let them build on those roads so that you'll have more buildings in the catchment area. One thing you can do, though, is fund new industries. It's very expensive. It's something that happens once you really start rolling in dough. But you can just... They're like 2 million-ish, usually. You can just pop those down wherever you want.
Yeah. You can... I think by default only really fund secondary and tertiary industries. Like if I go into fund new industry here.
You can't by default fund primary industries, which is like
mines
fish or mines or Yeah,
you can't just say, hey, there's minerals here, go for it. They won't believe you. Okay, so I think for my first train setup, I'm gonna go from Dragon Bridge Woods here, which has the pyrite smelter at Meridia's Beacon, Meridia's Shrine. Shrine for Meridia's Beacon. And I'm going to take some minerals from here, which is a pyrite ore mine. I'll set up. Yeah, that should be good. So, since I'm going to be working nearby Carthweston anyway, I am going to just real quick rig up some public transit, because one thing that will get you time and again in this game is the local authority getting pissed off at you because you have built a train station on too many of their precious trees.
Yeah.
And they will start to just really, really dislike you, and then they'll say, no, you're not getting planning permission for your new cool station on our roads.
Yeah, and we're just like, oh, but we wanna.
So it's useful both in terms of just making a little bit extra profit and in terms of keeping the local authorities happy to set up some transit there. Oh, right, thank you for the head pats, man.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if we look here, this local authority thinks that I'm good. If I was to build rail lines all over their trees here and generally disrupt this landscape by altering it, then they would... Oh my god. I might need to turn off announcements of new vehicles. It's getting distracting.
New aircraft's available.
Oh. Yeah, the local authorities tend to get a little bit pissy if you keep.
First bus arrives at what?
I don't know.
First bus arrives at 0T50. First bus arrives at 0T140. Smiley face. What is happening?
I don't know.
It's probably fine.
Probably the AI. Oh, here we are.
Oh, that is probably. I forgot the AI stations.
Why have you set? Why have the AI set up? Wait, no, hang on. This is. Oh, this is actually AIs. This is not the. Oh dear. Well.
Oh, we have computer opponents. Well, that's weird. I guess they're the Thalmor. We must crush them.
Can I rename their... I cannot. Sad.
Now, I'm trying to figure out the best way to get trains across this giant inlet without making them go 1 billion miles out of their way. I do kind of wish I'd seen this much closer sawmill, but you know what? That's fine.
Julie suggests train boat, and I agree.
Train boat. You know, they're...
Their opponents... Yeah, they're competing companies. They are not very smart.
Not typically. There's a lot of different like AI that you can download. Mm-hmm. It doesn't come by default with AI computer players, but
yeah, some of the community-built AI is quite good, but generally the OpenTTD experience is best enjoyed, in my opinion, with your girlfriend. Your mileage may vary.
With me specifically.
Exactly. You have to play the game with sleep, otherwise it's just no good.
Look, my calendar's open. It's like super not, though.
Yeah, because you're playing OpenTTD with me every day. So let's see. So what I'm building right here is lines to enter and exit the station. This is probably not super necessary, but I like to have enough space for one whole train lane to be sitting outside of the station on either side, so that if there's for any reason a backup on the line, then trains can still approach the station at least, and
yeah, it's a good
not
idea.
get
I don't do
completely
that very
stopped
often.
So I've merged those lines, and I'm going to merge these lines as well. There's going to be a lot of slowdown in this area, just as a matter of course, because it's extremely hilly. I'm also going to start placing signals here.
Oh god, that's expensive. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Come back to that in a moment, because I really also need to figure out how to get from here to here. And
this is a fairly challenging so far. At least my location is.
Oh, signals aren't too expensive, no. I think Sleet's just having other expensive problems.
Yeah, no, I had to do a little bit of terraforming on the coast.
Oh god, yeah, coastal terraforming
it's like
is an absolute
45k to level 1 tile there, and it's just...
So, speaking of expensive, I am going to be... Oh my goodness. So I'm just building a couple of bridges here. I am going to need to do a lot of landscaping to have my main line be as efficient as possible. Like, oh, question, has anyone played SimCity? Absolutely, yes. Like, SimCity 2000... SimCity 2000 was my jam, even though I was very bad at it. And, like, I played a fair bit of SimCity 3000 and SimCity 4, because I was very excited by the prospect of the cross-compatibility with The Sims that was in SimCity 4.
Yeah.
I think you could import neighborhoods into The Sims 2, or like you could use the city building tools or the landscaping tools in SimCity 4 to create neighborhoods that you could import into The Sims 2. I forget exactly, but something like that.
It was something like that. You could import... I think you could import your cities into The Sims to use those as neighborhoods. And you might have been able to do the reverse with The Sims and put them in your city?
Yeah, you could bring a sim from The Sims 2 into your city as just kind of a... I guess in the modern city simulation games, I would call that an agent. Not like as in Agent 42 or 57 or whatever the bald guy is.
Secret Agent Man.
Oh my god, yeah, in the Super Nintendo one you could just have Bowser attack your city. It was fucking great. I didn't play too much of the Super Nintendo one. I think I did have a cart of it. That's in part because I wasn't a Nintendo kid growing up, so by the time I got a Nintendo with a SimCity 2000, well, with a SimCity cart, the Super Nintendo had been kind of old news for a while, and also because I'd already played a lot of SimCity 2000 on my PC. I think putting Hitman into the Sims game would be a good plan. I'm glad you agree.
Boy, there is some uniquely challenging terrain here that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, it's almost like Skyrim is very hilly or something.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering why stuff's transparent sometimes, it's just basically I'm like switching on and off transparency of objects because it's easier to see through stuff when it's transparent. She said incredibly obviously. It's easier to see what I'm doing when I set these things.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Jeez, this I need to not. Are you kidding me? Is that really what I'm gonna do?
Oh. I'm excited for what you're about to do, but I'm also very excited for Julie, who played a lot of Dungeon Keeper, which was also very much my jam when I was.
I never had it as a kid, but I had Populous the Beginning, which was constantly advertising Dungeon Keeper to me. I think it had like on the main menu, it had like watch an ad for Dungeon Keeper. I'm like, man, that looks cool.
Oh my god. Dungeon Keeper was a neat one, Ray. That's a game where you essentially you are a demon and you are trying to build up a good dungeon with a lot of traps and monsters in it that a bunch of heroes will try and assault, and you need to make sure that those heroes cannot assault it, that when they do assault it they are defeated, so that you can continue spreading evil across the land.
Wow.
I think it actually has a place in the Dwarf Fortress family tree, honestly. Like,
yeah,
the games seem to have some of the same DNA going on. Should also mention that the current MIDI jams that you are hearing are from the original OpenTTD. Sorry, the original Transport Tycoon Deluxe soundtrack. OpenTTD does come with its own soundtrack, and in fact, it comes with its own graphics set, so that it's not using anything from the original Transport Tycoon Deluxe release. But you can, if you want, import the original graphics sets and music and everything from the original game, just to have that, you know, full retro thing right there. Yeah, the modern versions of it. God, I remember being extremely mad about the Dungeon Keeper version that came to phones, because it was just such a absolute shitty cash grab. It was terrible.
Big surprise.
Yeah, and like both that and I think there was also a theme park mobile game came out around the same time, and like that was a fucking big 1-2 punch in the childhood for me, because like Theme Park, Dungeon Keeper, both games that I played a lot as a kid. Like I think Theme Park by Bullfrog was one of the first games I ever actually owned. Roller Coaster Tycoon stream when? You know?
We totally should, because OpenRCT allows for multiplayer, so...
It's true. We did actually play Architect on stream as well.
Yeah.
Which was very, very fun.
So it's such a good park.
Oh my god, yeah.
We have fan art of that park.
It didn't. Wait.
Yeah, Lily made
Oh my god, yeah,
art.
Lily did. Yes, I remember now.
My horrible Bulbasaur bathrooms.
Oh, God. Okay, so I know that what I'm doing to end the line here is not exactly efficient, so anyone that knows what they're doing in OpenTTD, please not yell at me.
Please no yell.
Please no mad. I'm gonna actually extend this a little bit more.
Please no mad.
This is like essentially temporary until I can build a proper turnaround. There we go. No yell, Snap's good. Exactly! See, Julie gets it. There we go.
Oh, that sort of works, I think. Yeah. We'll have to figure out how to power that power plant, I guess.
I think my constant paranoia with playing something like this on stream is that there is an extremely dedicated community out there for it. And I'm just very worried that some members of that community might come and tell me how bad my train network is. I'm just like, no, I just want to build trains.
I don't care about maximum efficiency. Those great trains go vroom.
I just want it to kind of work.
Oh.
Paranoia is probably completely unfounded. I'm sure that the OpenTTD community is lovely.
The closest we got to that were the Garf Cart community hunting us down.
Like, apparently, they just have like a Discord with a bot that alerts them when anyone on Twitch goes live with Garfield Cart, which is why we got so many people
idea.
That community just suddenly crop up. Which, I mean, you do you, I guess. You crazy Garf Cart diamonds. There are a lot of trains in games. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely, like, if you're thinking being conductor, yeah, there's definitely that options there.
Yeah. I mean, a driver as well. Just a thought, in US parlance, is there a difference between a train conductor and a train driver?
I couldn't tell you with confidence. I've only ever heard the term conductor.
To me, a conductor is someone on the train that will take tickets. So they'll go around and be like, tickets, please.
That might be, well, what it is. More so than what I'm thinking. Again, we barely have trains to have terminology for them in the first place.
True.
Getting real happy with bridges, but wow, they look good.
Okay, there we go. Ooh. Train driver steers the train, very rare. Understandable.
Oh god, I steered a train and go in one direction.
But what if you want to drift on multiple tracks?
Oh, that's a good point.
Garfield train
What's the
game?
name of the train employee that does the hot cocoa song and dance?
Is there like a literal song and dance?
Yeah.
How did the hot cocoa song and dance go?
I love hot cocoa. It's really good. Give me some. I don't know. Tom Hanks is there, and he's kind of scary. You can see his pores, and he wants to give you hot chocolate.
Oh, I see. This is a Polar Express joke.
It is,
isn't it? I see. Okay.
I had the Polar Express book when I was a kid, and I liked it a lot. So I kind of liked that movie.
That's okay. You're allowed.
Even though it was a little bit on the creepy side, and Mandark was the worst.
Polar Express game sucked. I have heard that the Polar Express game was not very good, yes.
How in the hell is there a Polar Express game?
How in the hell are you surprised that there's a Polar Express game?
I mean, I guess that's fair. Everything's got a video game, doesn't it?
I mean, it is actually... It feels like it was kind of late for the video game adaptation, sort of. Actually, wait. What was the nearest Shrek movie released to the Polar Express?
Oh, God. Let me just consult my Encyclobrainopedia. Let me see. Polar Express. I'm thinking about this in my mind palace. Was released in 2004? That feels older than...
Okay, so yeah, I guess it would still be, like, around about the time where it would get a PS2 tie-in game, so yeah, that...
Shrek 3 was 2007, Shrek 2 was 2004, so it was concurrent. This came out in the same year. That's weird.
Well, there we go, then. I'm glad that we've got that settled.
It's important work we just did.
Hmm.
There is a house
in New Orleans.
God damn it. Fuck.
Gotcha.
In Windhelm, that's just not built on a road anywhere. It's just kind of out there.
Oh.
Full of shine and full of sparkle. I don't know. It's just like, we want to live just in kind of the wilderness nearby.
I can appreciate that, I think. I'm doing this so bad.
Well, I got stuff hooked up now. Back to Windhelm.
I want to check out this house full of shine and sparkle.
It's next to the train station near Windhelm.
That's extremely messy, that'll do. The Polar Express game Hot Chocolate is a mini game. What the fuck?
Fantastic.
Okay. Next to the train station. Oh wow, yeah, it's just kind of.
Yeah, he's just doing his own thing, living his best life.
It's like on the corner.
I guess it technically is.
God, those brick viaducts look so fucking good.
Right?
Okay, let's see your Windhelm Hall. Yep.
Wow, I really should have connected this to the fish market, shouldn't I have? Kaboom! Kaboom!
Goodbye, Windhelm.
Goodbye, Jojo.
Okay, so the whole purpose of me having these kind of... What the fuck is going on with that signal? I don't want that. Okay. The whole purpose of me having this kind of convoluted setup here where I've got these two main lines and then kind of the stations splitting off from that is that I can then easily reuse this very long length of track running across a fair expanse of the map to run other train cars on. So if I want to, for instance, expand the service here. Maybe I put a passenger station here. Yeah, please share the link to hot chocolate. If you want to drop that in the Discord, !Discord by the way, we can check that out after stream. Just about choked on my own spittle plugging our Discord, so
it's better than choking on somebody else's.
You're correct. Thanks for that insight, I guess. Aw, Chrissy, I'm lovely.
Oh, I love you, Chrissy.
What was I talking about? Okay, yeah. If I wanted to extend this line and have like a passenger station around here in Solitude and run a passenger service from there, Garthwasten, I could easily do that and just have the trains for the Pyrite transport run on the same tracks. So I think I will actually do that after this. Train blasting!
Oh.
Terrell? Have you been showing up in Duke's streams? And possibly Val's streams? Where did you learn to blast?
Have they been train blasting?
I mean, Terrell did just train blast in chat. Meanwhile, Duke and Val have been hole blasting.
Oh.
It's okay, it's fine, they love it.
On Twitch? You can do that?
Yeah, they have ! Hole blasting command.
Wow.
Brave new world.
Fucked up.
Deeply.
Okay. So now I've got a transfer station set up. Rather than having another railway nearby, which would be very convoluted, I've just got a couple of trucks that are going to be transferring from this other forest to the train station.
Ooh, I'll take a look in just a moment. I'm trying to figure out why Train 1 is lost right now.
Uh-oh. You got a signal backwards somewhere.
Seems like it. I don't know, bud. I think Wiki can reach the pyrite deposits if you just believe in yourself. Thanks for that, Ray. Garf blasting. We need to add some blasting commands. Why can't you reach that place? So that's fine, 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 that's fine. Yeah, large series of question marks above my head, honestly. Wait, what?
Oh.
Oh, can they just not make turns that tight?
Oh shit, it might... If it saved all my settings instead of using yours, which is crazy, they might not be able to make 90-degree turns.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that. Carol was thinking Goral blasting, but there's some connotations to that could only really involve us. Oh. I mean, yeah, but also, yeah.
Right? Oh my god, Win, what are you doing? Yeah, well, yeah. Not on Twitch, probably. That's probably illegal.
Wait, what's who doing? Me?
What? Girl blasting, just in general. Seems like it's probably illegal to do on Twitch.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair. There we go. Slightly less tight turn for my little train. There we go. Okay, it's quite happy.
Yay.
So it's gonna go here, it's gonna wait to load up, and then it's gonna head on back. So let's see, what were you talking about with your transfer station? Oh, I see, okay. So, why is the drum on this so much louder than everything else in the mix? Okay, there we go. Where were we? Right, yeah. Your log landing. So you're transferring logs from this place?
Yeah, they're transferring from log landing to this station here, which is the fish market. And then there's a train bringing that all the way to the end of this rail line, which is the Shorestone Mill, to turn those logs into lumber. And the lumber is going all the way back up to the fish market, where it's being sold to the wharf.
Oh. So yeah, this is a really nice little operation here, because Sleet's linked up two forests, picking up a bunch of logs from both of them, and turning those into a secondary product, which in this case is lumber, at this sawmill. And then lumber, you can actually check the supply chains here, is accepted by the wharf, which is the endpoint industry in this case. You can also use logs at the paper mill, where you can combine them with china clay and sulfur. I think, what was china clay? It's got another term for it, the name of which I forget.
Kaolinite?
Kaolinite, yeah. Combine those together to get paper, and paper can then go to the port, which is different from a wharf.
Yeah, there's ports, wharfs, and harbors, and they all have different things. And it's great and not terrible.
Oh god, a little bit of highlights news. I just got reminded by our highlight subscription link in there. So, you know, if you're not subscribed, you should. Please, we need it. We need it so bad. But also, we have a highlight video being edited right now by the one and only Sophie Baby. So I'm quite excited for that. Sophie is editing our Bill Nye the Science Guy Stop the Rock stream into a 20-minute highlight, which I'm quite excited for, because I thought that was a really good stream, and I'd like to... I'm really interested to see what Sophie pulls out from it. And also, we have the Ocarina of Time online streams being edited by Laura right now. I've seen the first 2 episodes. Goddamn, we're funny. So watch out for those. The Ocarina of Time online streams are a wonderful tale of friendship, adventure, Milk overcoming all odds, and Bubsy Bobcat's feet.
Wait, what?
Did I stutter?
No.
Yeah, Sophie Baby of Twitch.website.
of Sophie.baby.
Sophie.baby. Okay, so I think I am going to make good on what I said here and add another rail station here. Let's see. So, the additional graphics here that I have, this is part of, well, the additional graphics that are available for OpenTTD. It's really cool. OpenTTD has built right into it a download manager for graphics sets, so you can just directly from the main menu download graphics packs, mods, anything. It's really straightforward and really cool. So if you want to spruce up your stations a little bit, you can easily do that. City stations. Oh. Ensuring no station goes unrailed. Stream is 18 plus. Okay, so I'm gonna start setting up a station here at Carthwasten. It's a little tricky to fit one in here. I think I'll probably lose it in over here. So I'm gonna want it to have 2 tracks. I probably want to actually join that to one of these stations as well. Let's see.
I was gonna say, yeah, the fact that this has been being worked on for so long, it's so refined and wonderful in everything that it does. The fact that it's got like the mod list is in the game itself. You know, it can click of a button, it'll take you to the website or the README for the thing, and you just click it and it's just there. You know, everything's just so nice and neat and tidy like that. Everything just works inside the game itself. There's no futzing around trying to get stuff working. It's just all there.
It is incredibly cool. It's kind of cool. Also, the new Greg, thank you for the follow on YouTube. Appreciate it.
Thank you, new Greg. All the Gregs assembled become unstoppable.
Train
like
wearing
that.
a shirt that's
really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. I don't think I've seen this pack. I think because you set up this scenario, I've wound up with a few bits and pieces in here that I didn't necessarily have.
Must
oh my
be.
god, the rural station though. Oh no. Oh, I need to rebuild it immediately. Oh.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah, hold that thought real quick. I'm gonna just oop.
Oh wow, that worked so nicely. So my trams were having a lot of trouble synchronizing for it was giving me some headache, but I added like 4 new stations along the line and that has helped immensely.
Oh fuck yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. Also, these all have like 2,000 passengers waiting at them. Oh my god, help me.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, oh that's weird. Can I get benches that have... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like that extra to greenery. Yeah. One thing that I really hope is improved in future versions is timetabling. Like, there's been a lot of work done on it already, but like,
Loans repaid.
yay! Oh yeah, I can replay mine as well. So you can set up vehicles to follow a timetable, and that's actually kind of cool because it means that you can space out your vehicles. So you see that I've got these two here that aren't on any particular timetable. They aren't scheduled at all, so they will just occasionally sync up and end up both going to the same station over and over. Well, not over and over, but right after each other, which means that you're not necessarily maximizing your profits there, because if one tram has already visited a station immediately before another tram, then that station is going to be pretty empty. What Sleet has done, though, if I... Yeah, here we are. So we can see here that Sleet's got several trams running here, and they are stopping and waiting at each station for a little bit to make sure that they're fairly evenly spaced, but as they're going around the circuit. Now, the way that this is set up in game is through this timetable. This is mostly automated, but if you really want it, it will fill this in automatically as it goes around the track. But to really make it work good, you kind of have to manually go into each line and tell it, okay, stay for 1 day longer than you're staying, travel for a couple days longer, just essentially to pad out the timetable a little bit to ensure that it's not always going to be running late.
Yeah, you want to give it some wiggle room in case things break down or need to go maintain somewhere.
Yeah. So I hope there's, like, in a future version, like a pad timetable button or something. That would be very nice.
That would be awesome.
Maybe I just need to get my fingers into the OpenTTD code and see what, like... Chrissy says as a railway planner...
I got a message from vehicle manufacturer, that big mega freighter, that big red honking thing.
Oh, the big ship?
Yeah, is going to be available soon.
Nice. Chrissy says, as a railway planner, my primary and in fact only goal is that when our tracks are abandoned, there remains to make good Donkey Kong Country levels. I think that's just fantastic. Oh my god, there's so much food to supply here. Ugh. Okay, back to Carthwassen. Oh my god, that station graphic set is so fucking good. I love it.
How good that is.
So, you might have noticed that I've kind of set this up with just buffers at the end. I am intending to make this into a terminus station.
Or you gotta die.
The other station that I have here is termed roll-on, roll-off, or row-row station, where you go to row-row, fight the power. And row-row essentially just means train go in one end, train come out the other. Terminus is train go in and out the same side. Chrissy, sleep good. It's been nice seeing you. We will keep being beautiful. You take care of yourself. Oh, that was very expensive. Ooh, that was too. Oh, ouch. Oof, ouch. I should need to stop doing this.
Oh no.
Essentially, with the terminus station, the train will come in on this track and then park in either of these berths on the station, and then will leave on this track. It's a little less efficient than a roll on, roll off because, well, there necessarily has to be some free track for a train to bail out, so you have less space to work with, essentially. So on a roll on, roll off, if there's a train waiting here, the train inside the platform can just book it out here. Whereas in a terminus station, there's really only space for one train to be sitting here and waiting. And if both of these platforms are filled, then it's going to take a while for both of them to leave and free up a space for the train waiting here. So, I will also point out that there are much better Transport Tycoon tutorials than myself out there. I am just trying my best to give a kind of a rough overview with a view of, hey, if this game is interesting to you, by all means check it out, it's free and really cool. And just kind of a fun way to spend some time with your loved ones, which is, like, I think a lot of the games that we play are just like, hey, this is fun to play with people you love.
Yeah, it's something where, like, we can just kind of veg out, and it doesn't take a lot of brain power, and it's not like we can just kind of be doing it and watching something together or what have you.
Okay, this is a place for a city station, I think.
That's a lot of logs, though, but so many logs.
My monetary cup already runneth over to the point where I don't even know what to do with all the money I'm raking in.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to get to that point as well. Actually repay my loan. There we go.
Yes. You should.
What kind of fish do you think they get out of these polar northern oceans that everybody's fishing out of? You gotta get those, like, slimy, oily little anchovies and stuff a lot, right?
I think it's mostly slaughterfish, right?
Mostly slaughterfish. Slaughterfish steaks.
The soundtrack to this game is also kind of burned into my psyche. Like, as I say, I made the demo of this. I was very, very young. Like, I had a CD called, I think it was like the Microprose Collection or something, and it had this really cute interactive menu where the whole menu was kind of themed around Transport Tycoon Deluxe. So you would end up you would put in the CD and it would present you with like a screen that was an a Transport Tycoon Deluxe city, and you would then like opt to take a train to whatever platform interested you, to like, I don't know, go to the XCOM platform if that was what you're interested in. It was just really cool. I think I still have the CD. I need to see if it still runs, because it'd be neat to just show that off as kind of a neat little curio.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I think I've lost the plot with this 4-lane terminus.
No.
How do you build a 4-lane terminus?
Where are you at?
Solitude West.
Earthwaste Solitude.
Yeah.
Solitude West.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
So you can either do something like this, where you've got and that'll work for smaller terminuses.
Mm-hmm.
If you need something with a little higher throughput, you can have, like you had there, have these two connect.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say if this one's going out, then wait, no, that's the wrong way. It has to be like that. You could do that, and then this would go in a tunnel.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
pop out there, and then you could do that. Or a bridge would work too.
That is cool, but I think for my purposes, I'm probably just gonna do this, and then, what was it, cross them over like that?
Nope, right where it's turned into two. Just continue the diagonal forward.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Makes sense.
Yep, perfect.
It is actually getting kind of late.
Wow, it sure is.
Yeah. Wait, did you? Hey,
What?
are you
They heard
planning?
there might be oily fish around here. Somebody said oil.
Oh, I see. That's why you were asking that. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right, I did one other thing. It's fine.
You did one other thing, like by Solitude?
Yep. Surprised you hadn't noticed, because it's right there.
Christ. Oh god. Oh, the Americans have come. Oh no. I think let's save this. I want to come back to this, I think, because
Oh yeah, totally.
this is fun. Please pay no attention or lots of attention to my other transport company names, such as Radioactive Gridlock. What's with the white stuff? What do you mean? Oh,
What
the
white
Americans
stuff?
are coming.
Oh,
Let's see. Take care, Ray. Thank you for coming along. And
have a good night.
thank you everyone for coming along. Thank you folks for supporting us, for watching us, for supporting our good friend Nyri. And yeah, if you'd like to hang around for just a tiny bit longer, we are going to find someone to raid real quick.
Man, Jax.
Uh-huh.
I love trains.
I love trains a lot. They're so much fun.
There's so much good chemical to have from that game. Just like you have a line set up, you see it working, it's pulling in boatloads of money. It just feels good all over.
I feel so much fun. Let's see. Oh, I'm in two minds. Do we raid Her Majesty the Queen, or do we raid Dollop?
Ooh. I think we rage
against the machine?
It's late. I'm
It
sorry.
super is.
It's
okay,
we raided Her Majesty last time, so I guess maybe Dollop this time.
Actually, I'm wondering what's going on Dollop's channel, because it looks like just a black screen right now.
Oh.
Maybe that was just something being weird. Oh yeah, there she is. Okay. Yeah, let's give Dollop a raid. I think Twains is a good raid phrase also.
Twains.
So Dollop is currently doing a non-stop 7-day stream, catching, I think, every single Pokemon, or playing every single Pokemon game, I'm not 100% sure,
oh my God.
to raise some money to cover back taxes. So if you want to hop into Dollop's chat, if you want to shout Twains when you get there, that would be nice. And y'all take care, y'all have a good night. We will see you on Sunday, where we are going to be playing Garfield Lasagna Party with our friends from Cobalt2. I can't wait. We might 100% it. Who knows? I can't promise that. I literally cannot promise that because I don't want to. I don't want to loop them into something they're not into. Anyway, thank you all so much. We'll see you again real soon. Y'all take care.
Take care, everybody. Mwah.
Oh my God.
Okay, raid is away.